Hello, everybody. My name is Blueberry Jeans. You can call me Blue. And welcome back to Let's Play Celeste. Last time, we finished up Chapter 3, The Celestial Resort. This time, we're going to be entering Chapter 4, Golden Ridge. Climbing tip. Low energy in a pinch. Jumping away from walls doesn't consume stamina. So, this chapter used to be my least favorite chapter in the game. However, thinking about this chapter more, I actually kind of love it, and I feel like it's a little underrated. Bird. Bird up. I would like to explain over the course of this chapter why I enjoy it as much as I do. Oh, great, you again. Well, I didn't expect to see you up here. I'm glad you're still in one piece. I see you made it through the hotel. Did you meet Mr. Oshiro? Oh, I met him, all right. He chased me out of there after I cleaned up a bunch of junk for him. Ah, that sounds like a fun morning. Oshiro's a lost soul, dear. That place is much more than just a hotel to him. Don't make him your project. You know what I think? I think this mountain drove both of you crazy. You know, you're not the first person to say that. Maybe you're right. How would I know if I were crazy? The way I see it, the mountain can't bring out anything that isn't already in you. But you gotta be a few crows short of a murder to live up here in the first place, right? What are you even talking about? Oh, I'm just rambling like the old bat I am. Are you ready to give up? I know a shortcut back to your car. Back off, lady. I'm heading for the summit. Sometimes it's hard to tell the difference between stubbornness and determination, isn't it? You remind me of myself when I was young. Good luck, and mind the wind. You don't get many visitors up here, do you? No, I can't say I do. I don't mind the solitude, though. Sometimes I think I should live in solitude, too. I really tried to get through to Mr. Oshiro. I wanted to help him. Oshiro needs to move on from that hotel. But it's not going to happen on your schedule. And it doesn't help that you've got something to prove. Don't you get lonely in that little cabin? I have friends, dear. I may be crazy, but I'm not a hermit. Sorry. I didn't mean to assume. When I was younger, I couldn't imagine staying in one place for this long. But then I found this mountain. I knew right away that it would be my home. What's so special about it? The mountain shows you who you really are, whether you're ready for it or not. It keeps me honest. Like she said, we gotta mind the wind. I will say this is probably my least favorite gameplay mechanic in the game. I hate to be so negative these last few episodes, but woof, the wind mechanic is irritating. As we were also introduced right before meeting the old lady, there are a couple other mechanics in here as well. One of them are the green bubbles. You can hop into them and you'll stay inside them for a bit before launching forward in a direction. You can also, while you are sitting inside of it, press the dash button to boost forward immediately. There's a technique known as fast bubbling. It's a lot quicker and is very useful in speedruns. Here we got the clouds, another new mechanic. You can jump on them, they will bounce you, and if you hold down the jump button, you'll bounce higher. Pink clouds will disappear after you use them, so make sure to keep an eye out on those. This level minus the Green Bubble and the clouds, especially the clouds, are personally some of my favorite mechanics in this game. This level has a wide variety in terms of the quality of its mechanics. Because the wind, again, sucks. There's two mechanics we've yet to be introduced to that I think are kind of like, one's a bit forgettable, the other one is decent. And then I really like the green bubbles and the clouds. I think those are really good mechanics. I think this is again, this is a bit of a black sheep of a chapter, if you will. It's very interesting. It is in like following chapter 3. Also, we have strawberry seeds again. Just thought I should mention. But no, in terms of like chapter 3 onward, heck, even chapter 2, are pretty story focused. However, this one has got very like minimal story stuff in it, but I think it actually has a lot going story wise. I like this chapter, from my knowledge, I think only has 2 sequences of dialogue, and we've just seen the first one. And they're both, I think, very important pieces of dialogue and cutscenes. But they are, again, it's only those 2. There's nothing else within this level. Oh my goodness. Oh, brother, this guy stinks. One more time, please. Thank you. So they're very few and far between, but I feel like they have a very big impact. And even outside of the direct dialogue segments, this chapter is very strong emotionally. So we have these moving platforms here. On them there will be these... Most of the sides of the platforms are entirely black, with one exception, which will turn, fully green once you step on it. And as long as you are in contact with that fully green side, you will be able to control the platform, whether you are standing on top of it and move it up and down, or if you are holding onto the side and go back and forth. It's an interesting mechanic. I don't have a whole lot of thoughts on it. I think it is... depending on how it's used, it can range from this is a pretty okay mechanic to a little bit annoying, but like, it works, is good. Nothing really against it per se, with the few exceptions where it can be a bit irritating to deal with. For the rest of these rooms, I forgot to mention that room down there is a bit of a hub for a bunch of different strawberry rooms, along with where to go next. I would recommend getting the one we just got, or the 2 we just got, the 2 rooms on the right, and then doing the topmost room next, because the topmost room and the 2 left rooms flow down into each other, like so. That entrance over there was one of the entrances in the room. It's just smarter to do it that way. It just makes sense. No reason not to. So yeah. Heading over here. Hop into this bubble. And we should get our next strawberry right here. And we have one more to get. Ride it down over here. And then we will be able to continue making progress. But yeah. Very interesting mechanic, the moving blocks. It is the game mechanic ever. Truly. And with that... we'll keep going for a bit. This room. So, right up here, we have this crystal heart. This used to be my favorite crystal heart in the game, but is probably, I'd say probably my least favorite now. We'll get to it in a second. Let's do this room first. But I have some thoughts about this crystal heart. So here's how this thing works. I don't know if you can see it. The switch might be blocking the way on screen, but right down here next to this white block. Oh, you can see it perfectly fine. Oh, I angled my camera a lot better today. You don't have the switch blocking a lot of stuff. There's this white block right here. Right down here, carved into the little rocks are figures of Madeline crouching. Here's how you do this. Crouch on top of this for a little bit. And you'll hop into the background. You can crawl around along the background set pieces. And get Eye of the Storm. So, to explain, this crystal heart is one big reference to Super Mario Bros. 3. There's an Easter egg where throughout the game you could find white blocks that look pretty much exactly like that. And if you crouched on them, you would fall behind into the background, as the entire game was supposed to be set in as a theater production of Mario's first adventure. So it's a reference to that, with the name of the crystal heart, Eye of the Storm, being a further reference, as going into the background at the end of the levels, you could usually get an item, frequently the whistle. Really? No, I can save this. Easy save. But yeah, you could get the whistle, which would create a... you could use it to warp to previous worlds or future worlds. It was a thing. Don't worry about it. Basically, it would teleport you to other worlds using a tornado. So it's Eye of the Storm. That's kind of what the reference is with that. This is where I was planning to stop, but I want to finish what I was talking about. Oh, but I also have to... words. Okay. But yeah, the problem with it is it's a really fun reference if you know Super Mario Bros. 3. It's a very confusing crystal heart if you don't. Which is why later on they added those images of Madeline. Those were of Madeline crouching. Those were not originally there. They added those in a future update for clarity. But it's still a bit confusing, and I'm not exactly sure how I feel about it. Also, speaking of things that were added in later updates, let me see if I can get to them. These blue spikes, right there that I got killed by, did not used to exist, because people, aka me, would jump onto the other side of that platform to cheese the winged strawberry that was there. And so they added those as an anti-cheese measure. But yeah, so with that, I think we're going to end off the episode here. Next time, we are going to be continuing through the Golden Ridge. See you all then.